Let's have a session on the value of flexible organisations. So a flexible organisation is an organisation that can adapt quickly and effectively to changes in its external environment. You could be thinking pestle here in terms of external environment, so political, economic, ethical, environmental, social, technological and legal changes. Advantages of being a flexible organisation. Well, it might mean you're more adaptable, you can meet consumer taste changes quicker, demand changes quicker, and that's going to be great for you as a business. Number two is it might allow you to become more innovative, and therefore you'll have more ideas that are new and you might be able to implement them faster. And thirdly, it's likely to increase efficiency, increasing efficiency because your use of resources is likely to be optimized. That will mean less waste and cost savings as a consequence. Problems of a flexible organisation. Well, moving or changing towards a flexible organisation might lead to resistance to change from those existing employees. If you become too flexible in an organisation, maybe you are too organic or too much delayering or too decentralised, then it might lead to coordination issues as a result of that, and that could be an issue. That could actually lead to inefficiency there. And thirdly, there's an increased risk of employee burnout if you're in too loose a situation where it's too decentralised, it's too organic, it's too much layers of management have been removed. And that could lead to higher staff turnover, which obviously has consequences from a HRM perspective. So the next thing we need to think about is how you can become a more flexible organisation. And there's four key areas really of how you can become a more flexible organisation. The first is restructuring through delayering. So you might want to begin the process of delayering, that's removing those layers of management, moving from a taller or hierarchical structure to a flatter structure. And that will improve your communication because you have less layers of management. It will mean that those employees have more autonomy, more delegation. And thirdly, there's going to likely to be faster decision making because of one and because of two, and that makes you more flexible. The second one is restructuring through flexible employment contracts. So that could be more use of 0 hours contracts, more use of job sharing, temporary contracts, or part-time contracts. So that means you have the ability to adjust a staff levels quickly and therefore adjust capacity quickly. And that will mean you're leaner as an organisation. It means you have less pressure on the recruitment and also recruitment expense. So if you need to get more employees, maybe you've got more demand, or you've theoretically already got the staff in place, you just need to renegotiate their temporary contract, their part-time contract, or also it might be you utilise the fact they're on a 0 hours contract and you see if they will be happy to up their hours. If it's on the downside and you need to reduce the size of your business, well, then you could adjust those hours, particularly in the case of 0 hour contracts. Next thing to think about is there are theoretically more people involved compared to an organisation where it's only full-time contracts being used. So therefore there might be a higher level of diversity within that organisation. And the key thing with flexible employment contracts is you're more responsive and so you're therefore more flexible. The third thing to think about is restructuring through organic structures as opposed to mechanistic structures. So you're moving away from those centralized mechanistic structures and moving towards the decentralized organic structures. So decentralized structures mean you're more agile. If you're more agile, then you're more useful in a rapidly changing market. You're more dynamic in that you can change quicker to that. And number two is there's more focus now on cross-functional teams. So you think about the functional areas, ops, marketing, HR, and there's more communication between them rather than a mechanistic structure. There's more silo in that, and that's communication breakdown, communication risks. It's poor communication. And number three is that the roles, as in the jobs within these functional areas, within the structure that's being used, well, hopefully they're more adaptable now because you're using an organic structure, and that makes you more flexible. And the fourth and final one to think about is more use of KIM. So that's knowledge and information management, which is essentially ensuring data is easy to access and also easy to use for decision making. So you can grab the data when you need it and make really good decisions off of that. For example, all functional areas, managers of all the functional areas might have access to the other functional areas data, and that allows them to make much more effective management decisions. So there's more collaboration there. It's more efficient if it's easy to access. It's quick to access that data, so there's no messing around before you can even make the decision. And it's likely your decision is going to be more informed and you can make it faster, and that makes you more flexible. I'm losing my voice. I'll see you at the next session.